Before the British, before Nigeria, before colonial borders carved West Africa into nations, there was Oyo. For nearly 3 centuries, one empire stood as one of the greatest military and political powers in West Africa. Its cavalry thundered across vast plains, its kings commanded the loyalty of neighboring kingdoms, and its influence stretched far beyond the lands of the Yoruba. This was not merely a kingdom, this was the Oyo Empire. Centered in what is now southwestern and north-central Nigeria, Oyo grew from a modest kingdom into a regional superpower whose legacy still echoes across Yoruba land today. But every empire has an origin, and Oyo's story begins with a prince, a family conflict, and a journey guided by legend. According to Yoruba tradition, the empire was founded by Oranmiyan, also known as Oranyan, a prince of the ancient city of Ile-Ife and the son of Oduduwa, the revered first Oni and legendary ancestor of the Yoruba people. His journey did not begin as a quest to build an empire. It began as a mission of revenge. Tradition holds that Oranmiyan led a military expedition northward to avenge an insult against his father. But before the campaign could succeed, disputes erupted among his brothers. The army fractured. His forces became too small to continue the mission, leaving the prince stranded far from home. Unable to press forward, Oranmiyan wandered westward along the southern reaches of the Niger River until he arrived at Borgu, known today as Bussa. There, according to Yoruba oral tradition, a local chief presented him with a mysterious charm tied to a great serpent. The instruction was simple: follow the snake. Wherever it stopped for 7 days and disappeared into the earth, that was where destiny awaited. Through forests, across rivers, over unfamiliar lands, Oranmiyan followed the serpent. Eventually, it came to rest at a place called Ajaka. For 7 days, the snake remained still. Then, it vanished into the ground. Taking this as a divine sign, Oranmiyan established a settlement on that very spot. It became Oyo Ile, or Old Oyo, the capital of what would become one of Africa's greatest empires. Standing on that sacred ground, Oranmiyan declared himself the first king to bear a title that would endure for centuries: the Alaafin of Oyo, owner of the palace. But Oyo was never meant to replace Ile-Ife. Although Oranmiyan established his political authority in Oyo, he continued to honor Ile-Ife as the spiritual homeland of the Yoruba people. That balance would define the identity of the empire for generations. Its political power resided in Oyo. Its spiritual heart remained in Ile-Ife. Yet, planting the seed of a kingdom was only the beginning. Oyo did not become an empire overnight. For generations, its rulers strengthened their institutions, expanded their influence, and built a kingdom that would eventually surpass every other Yoruba state. By its height, Oyo had become the most powerful of the Yoruba kingdoms. Its authority extended far beyond Yoruba land, compelling neighboring states, including the Kingdom of Dahomey in present-day Benin Republic, to recognize its military and political dominance. Its cavalry was among the most formidable forces in West Africa, allowing the empire to project power across the savannah and control important trade routes that enriched the kingdom. For centuries, Oyo appeared unstoppable. But history has a way of humbling even the mightiest empires. And often, the greatest threat comes not from outside, but from within. In the late 18th century, the empire descended into political turmoil. A powerful Bashorun, known as Ga, amassed enormous influence, manipulating the throne and orchestrating the deaths of multiple Alaafins. The delicate balance between the monarchy and Oyo's governing chiefs began to unravel. As instability spread through the capital, another crisis emerged on the empire's northern frontier.
The Are Ona Kakanfo, the commander of Oyo's army, Afonja, rebelled against the Alaafin from the frontier city of Ilorin. Seeking allies, Afonja turned to Fulani jihadists. It was a decision that would reshape Yoruba history. The alliance soon collapsed. The jihadists eventually killed Afonja, seized control of Ilorin, and incorporated the city into the Sokoto Caliphate. With its northern defenses shattered, civil wars weakening the kingdom from within, and external enemies pressing from without, the once unconquerable empire could no longer hold. Around 1835, Oyo Ile, the empire's ancient capital, was destroyed by Fulani forces.
The empire had fallen, but its people endured. The collapse of Oyo triggered one of the largest migrations in Yoruba history. Its descendants moved southward, founding and strengthening new city-states, including Ibadan, Abeokuta, and New Oyo, the present-day Oyo town in Oyo State, Nigeria. The empire disappeared. Its legacy did not. The institutions it created, the culture it shaped, and the royal traditions it established continue to influence Yoruba society centuries after the fall of its capital. Because some empires are remembered for the lands they conquered, Oyo is remembered for the civilization it built.